Hey students and family members, this lesson and unit are all about Dutch and French explorers that started to travel to the North American continent. First, we're going to read about the New Netherland area, which eventually became New York. Chapter 4, pages 144 to 145. Our first question is the original inhabitants of the Manhattan Island, who were the Native American Manhattan Indians. Let's take you on a history trip of how New Netherlands became and then changed to New York. If you remember Henry Hudson, he was the one that traveled for the Dutch and made land claims for Netherlands. His voyages, looking for the Northwest Passage, took him to northern North America. The Dutch are from a country called the Netherlands, which is in Europe. When he got there, he started to recognize that this area north of New York, in Canada, present-day Canada, had lots of fur and fishing opportunities, and the first settlements made a ton of profit by taking the fur and trading it. Beavers obviously not being happy with that. New Netherlands would be governed by two leaders that were extremely different. Both of them had the same first name, Peter. The first governor of New Netherland was Peter Minuet, and he was very tolerant, meaning he accepted all people of all different backgrounds. However, he wasn't a strong leader. They purchased the land and named it New Amsterdam, in New Netherland, from the Manhattan Indians, those original inhabitants in Manhattan. A company was formed, just like the Virginia Company. It was called the Dutch West India Company. They tried their best to make New Netherland attractive, but very few people from the Netherlands wanted to come there. They needed to do something what at that time was unimaginable. They decided that they were going to invite people from all over, no matter what country, no matter what region they were from, no matter what religion they practiced, because they had so many different people living there, the population started to become extremely diverse. Diverse means there are many different people that are living and interacting in the same area. 18 different languages were spoken in New Amsterdam. It was decided by a higher leader that New Netherland needed a different ruler that was more firm and not as weak as Peter Minuet. Here comes PeterStuyvesant. They called him Old Pegleg because he had his leg blown off earlier in his life. He was not tolerant. He did not like people that were different than him. And as you can imagine, that didn't win too many people over. Stuyvesant's lack of tolerance ended up being his worst enemy. In 1664, English ships sailed to New Amsterdam to attack. Here come the English again, attacking, just like they did in the Spanish Armada. They wanted that land. However, not a single shot was fired. England didn't even have to fight to win over the area. The Dutch hated PeterStuyvesant so much, and they were tired of being ruled by such a strict governor that the English were allowed to just invade and take over the land without a fight. Then they renamed New Amsterdam New York after the Duke of York in England. And that's how the original inhabitants, Manhattan Indians, gave their land up. It became New Amsterdam and eventually turned into New York.